let's look at Cambre. So Cambre might also be known to you as dip, but in a Cambre we're always holding our own weight. So the illusion is that we are bending our backs to go backwards, but as we work through the technique you'll see how this illusion is created with no bend in the back and just an opening of the chest and working through the legs. So we're going to start with from the ground up as usual. So we have our feet at hip distance, but they're going to be offset, one in front of another. The leg that is going to be holding the weight of our body is the back leg, and the front one is going to be there as extra stability. So get yourself set up, weight on one leg and the other in front. Now this one in front is actively still pushing through the floor, so you wouldn't be able to kick that leg out. I'm pushing through the floor, you see that front heel is up. So that's where we're going to end up once we go backwards. So in order for our body to give the illusion of going back, we have to prepare forward. So what we should feel from the leader is a little contraction. So this is just a contraction in the top half. We're not going to be contracting to send the butt back at all. So you'll see it's just a little fold from the top. That has already brought my front heel up. Okay, so that's going to be keeping my axis down through the center here rather than going forward on that front foot. Little contraction. From here, what we should feel from the leaders is, depending on how he's leading it, but say if he's leading it with this arm, it should be an open down, an invitation. There shouldn't be any pushing. If I'm on the dance floor and I have a leader that tries to push me into a Cambre or into a dip, I will brace. I will brace myself and go, no, no, no. I won't go if I'm forced. It must be an invitation, and it's then my job as a follower to keep searching for the connection in my back, and that's what then creates the backwards Cambre. So we have the little contraction forward. From here, this is where the most important thing with the Cambre is. The next action, when we feel the leaders ask us to go back, the next action is hips up. So not just forward, but we have to think about them like an escalator traveling up. See, the chin is still to the chest here. So it's important to keep practicing that feeling. You'll feel really tight, really stretching through your hip flexors and a little squeeze of the butt, but mostly sucking up through the front here. So this is when we're still contracted, and then as we seek that connection, the hips keep going forward to counteract what's happening in the upper body. Chin is still to chest, front foot is still pushing through the floor. I feel really tight through here. I'm pushing up through my butt, and then both knees are bent. Very important, especially this right leg that's holding all the weight here. When I reach my limit, or when the opening of the lead is finished, that's when you can open the chest to the sky, and let the head relax. So from there, that is pretty much the limit of my Cambre, of where I can hold it with all, obviously, looking after all of my own weight. Let's works that leg out nicely. So, again, contract hips and then open the chest. So from here, there's two main ways to come up. If we're thinking about just being in a line here, not going into any sort of upper body movement circular. So the two main exits will be straight up. So with this one going straight up, all the power comes from the foot, from this leg here to bring you back up. Or in a snake. So when you have a snake, we'll feel a forward contraction from the lead on the back, which will then bring the chin to the chest. So it's important to have a strong neck in Zouk, so you are able to hold the weight of your own head and bring it from all the way back to all the way forward, And then from here, hips are still pushed up and forward. When the head comes over the hips, then it switches, butt goes back and into body roll. So that's the two main ones. Straight up, pushing through the leg, or snake and send the butt back as the head comes forward. So for body roll, have a look at my other video all about body roll, side body roll, etc. if you want to know the technique for that. So it's exactly the same thing on the other side. What we sometimes feel is, so the really common one might be if the leader has the follower in a wrap, contracts and goes into a cambre. So it's important to make sure that as the contraction happens, that so we'll be facing this way, as the contraction happens, that the leg comes forward. So we don't want to make sure that it's the leg that's closest to the leader normally that is holding the weight, because that's going to be where the axis is, where our balance is and where the strength is. So keep that one close to the leader rather than it being the outside leg. Oh, one more thing. When I started learning cambres, I was told that at the point at which I've gone as far as I can, even if he's asking me to go further back, at that point is when I drop my head. So that can be a signal to the leader that I've gone as far as I can. That's when the head relaxes back. And when I say relax back, I don't mean folded. So there's not going to be a fold of the neck so that you're scrunched up here. I'm always thinking about having a long spine. So if I was to come back up, that's my relaxed head. It's still thinking about stretching through my spine, not crunching back. Because then if you're brought up quickly from your head being folded back, could be very dangerous and painful. Also, the depth of the cambre is determined by the leader. So not only can the leader ask to go down, 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 and if he does, then it's going to be down, 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 down in the legs, not down, 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 down in the back, not trying to get further with the spine. You're going to try and get lower in the legs to do a deeper cambre. But also, we must remember as followers that the leader might just want to do a really high one. He might just want to go here. This is very, I learned this through William and Paloma, because I was in my here's my cambre, and I go, and he's like, you're going low, and I haven't asked you to go low. So always remember that it might just be a little high accent here. There might not be any drop in the legs. So seek that connection, don't assume, but know your technique for both. So on that note, let's practice with a song. Okay, here we go. Offset the feet. So the leg closest to the camera would be the leg that's closest to the leader. Contract. Bring that front heel up, push through the floor. Now, just get used to the feeling of the hips. The hips up and back. Feel a stretch through your hip flexor. Now here, get a little lower in the legs. Get used to that feeling of the cambre coming from the legs. And come back up. Contract. Hips and drop. Contract. Hips. And go deeper or shallower. All the way. Hips. And open the chest. Push up through the leg. Whew. Try the other side. Contract. Hips up. Down through the legs or not. And then open the chest. Push up through the leg. Same sides. feel some flow there, the contraction and the opening. So think of it all as one movement. Back to your first leg. Let's try it with the snake up. Contraction, hips, bend. Now from here, chin to chest. Contract, booty back, chest up. It's a workout for the leg, right? Other side, same thing.
Forgive my selfishness, I'd be grateful if you can. Forget my ingratitude, you think I'm twice the girl I am. They say we should forgive, but not forget.
Push
What
up.
has gone
Keep
before.
alternating. Don't get used to doing the same thing all the time.
The mistakes that we made yesterday.
We want to have muscle memory for good technique, not muscle memory for moves. Try some little ones. Contraction. Just a little bit in the knees. Still the hips go up and forward. And open the chest. Try the little ones with the snake. Make sure you're still using that front leg. Then you push up and use that one to help you as well. You should have had a really good stretch through your hip flexor, really good work for your thighs. Check out my conditioning workout for leg and butt strength. There's a whole playlist of videos to help build up your body so you can handle things like that all night, every night. I wish. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.